Today on Reddit gossip, my friend is about to ask his girlfriend to marry him and I'm the only one who knows how unfaithful his fiancée is. Should I say anything? Have you had a similar experience? Share your best anecdotes and opinions below in the comments. Also subscribe and hit the bell to keep up to date with new stories. Let's get started. So my good friend Aaron and his girlfriend Mary have been together for almost 7 years. They meet in college and are in a very close relationship. Personally, I would call them extremely codependent. Neither of them really have any friends aside from each other. She doesn't let him have guy friends. In fact, she doesn't let him do a lot of things. He's not allowed to go out past 11, not allowed to drink or smoke, she has to approve of all of his friends, and he's not allowed to be alone with other girls. She's got this guy on a tight leash. The reason why they're still together is that Aaron is completely whipped, and to him she can do no wrong. He talks regularly about how amazed he still is that she finds him attractive. He's a decent looking guy, but she's like supermodel level good looking. They post cutesy couple photos every day. I'm pretty sure she makes him post them, and to everyone who sees them they appear to be the perfect magical fairy tale couple. Anyway, a few weeks ago he told my boyfriend and I that he was planning on proposing to Mary. Of course we congratulated him because he seemed super excited. Now here's the issue, a few weeks prior to this, I hung out with a friend of Mary, Allison. Allison told me about a party they went to where Mary got drunk and slept with her ex. After the party they began flirting regularly, and she made a 3 with him and a friend of his. Aaron has no knowledge of these encounters. I told my boyfriend about it because he shares my friendship with both of them, and he believes that we need to say something, but I'm not so sure how to even go about that. It will destroy him, ruin their entire relationship and maybe a friendship as well. However, I think in the long term he will be unhappy with a marriage where she's so controlling. Not even that, but if she's completely okay with cheating on her long-term partner, it will be the same once they're married. Is telling him the right thing to do? Edit, to clarify, the deception has not been going on for 6 years, as far as I know, and the encounters occurred recently. Edit 2, some of the commenters are calling me a bad friend for not telling him immediately. After giving it some thought and reading the comments, I have decided to tell him as soon as I can, most likely tonight if he's free to hang out. To those saying I'm being a bad friend for waiting, this is a huge deal, and it will greatly affect the future of Aaron, and I want to make sure I break the news in the correct way. This man is blinded by love. He's not going to be expecting this news at all, and his whole life is about to change. I'm definitely not going to do nothing, because he deserves much better than this woman, and he deserves to know the truth about what he's getting into if he still decides to marry her. Espero una tormenta mala en toda regla, espero que esté dolido, enfadado, incrédulo. I don't believe it's wrong that I'm asking for a bit of advice on how to approach this. Should I have told him sooner? Maybe, but what difference would a few weeks make? For all those asking, I'll post an update when I do it. Edit 3, I've talked to Aaron since I posted this and he is coming over tonight to talk/hang out. My BF and I are going to tell him together because he knows the situation as well. A few of you have suggested I talk to Mary first to give her a chance to come clean. While that's a good idea, I'm not as close to her as I am to Aaron, and I don't see that going over well. I would much rather tell him and leave it to him to decide what to do from there. Edit 4, new information has been received from the third-party friend Allison. She has sent me screenshots of texts that do prove Mary has been involved with her ex. They send messages regularly and he has sent her photos without clothes. Edit 5, I'll just mention that Aaron just got to our house, 8 p.m, we'll update later if I can. Thank you all so much for the kind messages and helping me work this hot mess out. I've been stressing about this all day, but I believe I am doing the right thing in telling him. Edit 6, quick little edit. 11 o'clock, we all talked for a good bit. I told him what I heard from Allison and it went better than expected, but he was still pretty mad and upset. We are all just chilling and drinking now. I'll post the whole story tomorrow. Thanks again for all the replies. TLDR, my friend is about to ask his girlfriend of 6 years to marry him, and I'm the only one who knows the truth about how unfaithful she's been to him. He's completely blinded by love and to him she can do no wrong. I know it might not be my place to say anything, but I don't want him to make a huge mistake. Have you had a similar experience? Share your best anecdotes and opinions below in the comments. Also subscribe and hit the bell to keep up to date with new stories. Let's get started. Comments. 1. I'd wanna know. With another married couple that we met. My wife went to a party with his wife one weekend. They had some drinks and his wife pointed to a guy at the party and just straight up told her, "You see that guy? I've been having relationships with him." My wife was shocked, they weren't very close, and she just dropped a bomb on her. So the next day my wife confided in me this story, to where my first reaction was, we definitely have to tell him. Well, I sat him down alone, I believe the next day, and told him everything I was told. Told him I'm sorry he had to hear it from me, but if I was him, I'd want to know. He was devastated, but thanked me. He confronted her later on and she denied everything, called my wife and I some choice names. I believe liar and homewrecker was in there too. Mi maldito y fue muy odiosa conmigo mientras sacaba su cosas. In the end, he got a divorce and is now years later is happier. 2. A few of you have suggested I talk to Mary first to give her a chance to come clean. I find it hard to understand the kind of mind that can give rise to this kind of nonsense. Like, I can understand how someone can see how close they are to people, how much they really know about what's going on in their relationship, and decide to just stay out of it. I can also understand how someone could decide to tell everything to the injured party. But what kind of complicated thinking leads to the thought, you know what? The person we're sure enough that they're a ridiculous immoral person who is cheating on their partner and that we're going to intervene, is the person we should give advance warning to so they can figure out how to hide evidence of their guilt and or make plans to complicate their partner while they're still going through with it. In other words, if your goal is to help the cheater and help him cover things up and or complicate his partner? Well, okay, good plan, mission accomplished. It boggles my mind, however, when someone is getting involved strictly out of a distaste for cheating and or to help out the innocent partner, and the suggestion is that they should give the cheater a heads up and a head start. What kind of thought process can lead you to think that this is a good idea? Good luck. 3. It's absolutely your place as a friend he confided in to tell him. Don't encourage him to end the relationship or anything other than telling him the truth, because he needs to know, and also codependent doesn't begin to describe this relationship because it's controlling to say the least. I hope you and he do the right thing. Good luck. OP, thank you, this is good advice. I appreciate your reply. 4. You need to tell him before he makes a huge mistake unknowingly. It is true that he is so tied to her that he can imagine her for any excuse she gives him and blame it on him, but if you are his friend, you have to show your face. How he handles it afterward is up to him, but at least he knows what he will get himself into. Just look here and you'll see heartbreaking stories of betrayed spouses who discover that their partner of, say, 15 years or more was cheating on them all along. Don't allow him to post on that thread in the future from this when he finds out and his world is turned upside down even further. OP, him not believing me because he's so whipped is what I was initially worried about, but the comments have been eye-opening. I definitely don't want him to make this mistake, and I think the storm that's going to follow telling him is worth it, if it means him being saved from finding out years later. 5. Hello, I am the op. For anyone asking, they are married as of last summer. No clue how they're doing, as my boyfriend and I have cut all contact aside from like Facebook and stuff. They have a dog, and wife wants kids now. Husband is still hella whipped. 6. Your description of him gave off the impression he has very low self-esteem. You mix that in a bowl with someone controlling and abusive like Mary, and you get the incredibly difficult task of trying to separate the flour from the salt. I hope he one day learns the self-worth to separate from that vile woman. 7. We always got the vibe that he had low self-esteem and just settled for her because he didn't think he could do better. I feel bad for him, but you have to stand up to that bad person too. Being alone is better than being with a bad person who doesn't care about you. That's why we kinda cut contact. We told him not to do it. 8. Super glad they told him before he was legally bound to her. I wonder if she would have said yes had he proposed. I say probably, because it's better for her to keep that stability and have something thrilling on the side. ETA, yes, I can see the very recent update that was added after my comment. I guess that answered my question, at least he knew going into it. 9. Your friend is not in a codependent relationship, he's in an abusive one. No, seriously. We're often slower to call it out when it's men being abused. But switch the genders. If a girlfriend of yours has a boyfriend who didn't let her stay out late, didn't let her drink and smoke, and didn't let her have friends that he doesn't vet, you probably wouldn't call that codependent. You'd call that controlling and abusive. Have you had a similar experience? Share your best anecdotes and opinions below in the comments. Also subscribe and hit the bell to keep up to date with new stories. Let's get started.